Imagine this for a moment. You wake up not to traffic, not to bills, not to stress, but to the sound of the ocean, warm wind, and a life that costs less than your monthly internet bill back home. Now, here's the twist. I'm not talking about fantasy islands or remote villages. I'm talking about real African countries where $700 a month doesn't just keep you alive. It gives you a beach apartment, fresh seafood, new friends, and a social life people your age only dream about. Most travelers overlook these places, and honestly, I think that's a mistake. Because right now, these are some of the easiest, warmest, and most affordable places on Earth for a fresh start. I'm Sophie Wilder, and this is Global Glimpse. Today, we're counting down the top 7 African countries where a $700 budget turns into a life you never thought possible. Let's begin. Number 7, Namibia. Namibia is what I like to call Africa's introvert paradise, a country designed for people who crave space, calm, and a quiet sense of freedom. When you land here, the first thing you notice isn't noise or crowds, it's silence. A beautiful kind of silence. The coastline stretches for miles with hardly anyone on it. The streets are clean, the air feels pure, and life moves at a slow, comfortable rhythm that almost forces you to breathe deeper. This is a place where your nervous system finally relaxes. For just $250 to $300 a month, you can rent a small studio near the coast in 800Month, one of Namibia's most peaceful and scenic towns. The apartments are simple but modern, often just a short walk from the ocean. Imagine stepping outside each morning and feeling the cool Atlantic breeze, knowing your rent costs less than a single week's expenses in most Western cities. The value you get here is unbelievable. But the real charm of Namibia isn't just the affordability, it's how effortlessly safe and comfortable life feels. Crime is low compared to many African countries, and the towns are incredibly orderly. Supermarkets are modern and well-stocked, roads are wide and easy to navigate, and locals are friendly in a gentle, non-intrusive way. Nobody rushes you, nobody pressures you. There's a natural respect for personal space, which is something many people don't realize they were missing until they feel it again. Foreigners blend in with surprising ease here. Namibia isn't a place where you'll constantly feel like an outsider. People smile, greet you politely, and then let you enjoy your day. There's no aggressive street selling, no overwhelming chaos, just a calm, balanced social environment where you can build friendships slowly and naturally if you choose to. And if you prefer solitude, Namibia respects that too. Swakopmund in particular feels like a postcard town that forgot to tell the world it exists. German-style cafes line the streets, the Atlantic waves crash against long, empty beaches, and every evening the sky turns into a painting. Namibia has some of the most dramatic sunsets in the world. Deep orange, gold, purple, and pink blending together in a way that feels unreal. People often say the sunsets here look hand-painted, and honestly, that's not an exaggeration. You'll find yourself stopping whatever you're doing just to watch the sky change. On a $700 monthly budget, you don't just survive here, you truly live comfortably. Fresh groceries are cheap, transportation is easy, cafes are affordable, and the overall lifestyle encourages a peaceful, grounded way of living. Namibia is the kind of place where you come to escape noise, rebuild your energy, and rediscover what slow, meaningful life feels like. And for many foreigners who move here, they say one thing: I wish I had found this place sooner. Number 6, Ghana. Ghana is one of those rare countries where the moment you arrive, the air itself feels warm, not just from the climate, but from the people. This is a place where strangers greet you with a smile, where neighbors invite you to join their dinner without hesitation, and where foreigners are not just tolerated, but genuinely welcomed. For many retirees and long-term travelers, Ghana becomes the first country where they finally feel seen, respected, and included in everyday life. English is widely spoken across the country, which makes communication easy from day one. You don't just visit Ghana, you participate in it. Coastal towns like Cape Coast, Elmina, and Axum offer something very few places in the world still provide: real ocean, living on a tiny budget. Here, you can rent an apartment or small beach studio for $200 to $280 a month. And these are not dilapidated rooms. Many are simple but clean homes, with balconies facing the Atlantic, walking distance to the water, local markets, and lively cafes. You wake up to the sound of waves, not alarms. You step outside to buy fresh pineapple, coconuts, or mangoes for just a few dollars. And at night, you can sit by the beach with grilled snapper, lobster, or tilapia cooked right in front of you over charcoal. No restaurant markup, no tourist prices, just real coastal living. But what truly separates Ghana from other countries is the social energy. Life here doesn't slow down after sunset. In fact, evenings are when the country wakes up. Street musicians play high life and Afrobeat rhythms near the seaside. People gather around small bars and food stands, talking, laughing, and dancing. You don't need to know anyone. The atmosphere naturally pulls you in. Locals are incredibly social, and older foreigners often find that making friends here is easier than it ever was back home. You'll hear, "Come join us," more than you hear, "Excuse me." And yes, the dating culture is warm and open-minded. Ghanaian women are known for being respectful, feminine, and family-oriented. Many genuinely prefer older, stable, kind foreign men. Not for money, but for maturity and responsibility. The cultural norm here respects age, wisdom, and life experience, which means men over 50 often feel valued in a way they haven't felt in years. Relationships here tend to grow naturally through conversation, through shared meals, and through the easy, welcoming rhythm of coastal life. Daily expenses stay shockingly low. Local food is flavorful and inexpensive, from jollof rice and grilled chicken to seafood soups and fresh fruit smoothies. Transportation is cheap. Markets are lively, beaches are open, relaxed, and rarely crowded. Even healthcare and basic services are surprisingly affordable for long-term residents. Everything about Ghana encourages a simpler, calmer, more connected life. One where community matters more than money, and where your pension actually stretches far enough to let you live without stress. So when people talk about Ghana, they rarely mention luxury. They mention comfort, kindness, warmth, and that priceless feeling of belonging. If you're looking for a place where $700 a month buys not just a roof, but a whole new social life, Ghana deserves a serious spot on your list. Number 5, Zambia. Zambia is one of those countries most travelers never think about, and that's exactly why it's such a hidden treasure. When a place isn't in the global spotlight, it stays affordable, peaceful, and untouched by the chaos of mass tourism. And Zambia is the perfect example of that. The first thing you notice here is how calm everything feels. No rush, no noise, no stress. Life moves at a gentle pace. The streets are lined with greenery, the air is clean, and the atmosphere makes you instantly slow down, breathe deeper, and feel like your nervous system finally has space to relax. The cities, especially Lusaka and Livingstone, are surprisingly clean, organized, and welcoming. There's none of the overwhelming traffic or pollution that many big African cities struggle with. Instead, you get wide roads, open markets full of fresh produce, and neighborhoods where people genuinely look out for each other. Crime levels are low, especially compared to surrounding countries, and Zambia consistently ranks as one of the most peaceful nations in Africa. But what really makes Zambia unforgettable is the people. Zambians are known across the continent for their gentle, respectful, and endlessly kind nature. They greet strangers with warmth. They offer help without expecting anything in return. They treat foreigners with curiosity, politeness, and genuine hospitality. There is no pushiness, no aggressive selling, no uncomfortable pressure, just calm, easy interaction. If you're someone looking for a softer, safer place to start over, Zambia might surprise you with how naturally at home you feel. From a budget perspective, this country is a dream. You can comfortably live on $550 to $700 a month, and that includes rent, food, transportation, and daily essentials. A decent apartment in Lusaka or Ndola can cost as low as $180 to $250, and if you want something nicer, more modern, or closer to the city center, you might spend $280 to $320. Still incredibly affordable. Street food is cheap and delicious, fresh fruits and vegetables are everywhere, and eating out won't drain your wallet. Even utilities and mobile data are inexpensive, so living here never feels like a financial struggle. It's also one of the safest countries for foreigners in Africa. Expats often mention how they can walk around without fear, how locals treat them with respect, and how peaceful daily life is. Zambia doesn't have the tension or political volatility that some neighboring states experience. Instead, it offers stability, friendliness, and a sense of ease that many retirees and digital nomads crave. And beyond the practical advantages, Zambia gives you something deeper, a feeling of balance. You're surrounded by nature, waterfalls, wildlife, and some of the most beautiful landscapes on the continent. The pace is slower, the smiles are real, and the lifestyle feels almost therapeutic. For anyone searching for a quiet, green, affordable country with genuinely good-hearted people, Zambia is a place where your body and mind finally exhale. It may be number 5 on this list, but for many foreigners who settle here, Zambia becomes a personal number 1. Number 4, Tanzania. Tanzania isn't just another budget destination, it's where life slows down, softens, and becomes effortlessly enjoyable. If you want a beach apartment without destroying your budget, this country is a dream come true. The moment you land in Dar es Salaam, you feel it instantly. Warm air, the smell of the ocean, and a rhythm of life that doesn't rush or stress you. Dar es Salaam, Bagamoyo, and especially the legendary Zanzibar Island offer some of the most affordable coastal rentals anywhere in Africa. We're talking $250 to $350 a month for a simple but clean apartment near the beach, sometimes with palm trees outside your window and fishermen bringing in fresh catch every morning. You don't need luxury to feel rich here. The environment does that for you. And then there's the food, tropical fruit that tastes like sunshine, mangoes, pineapples, coconuts, passion fruit, all for pocket change. Street vendors sell grilled seafood, chapati, and aromatic spices. Everything is fresh, everything is flavorful, and everything is far cheaper than what you'd ever get back home. Eating well isn't a luxury here, it's the default. But Tanzania's magic isn't just the affordability, it's the energy. The nightlife in coastal towns is warm, friendly, and surprisingly lively. People dance, laugh, and enjoy the evening breeze. Music fills the streets. Foreigners are welcomed easily, especially those who come with respect, curiosity, and an open mind. Here, social life doesn't age. Whether you're 25 or 65, the rhythm invites you in. And then there's Zanzibar, one of the most beautiful islands in the world. White sand, clear turquoise water, ancient stone town, spice farms, slow sunsets. It's not just beautiful, it's cinematic. Most tourists visit for a week, take pictures, and go home. But retirees, they come and suddenly realize, wait, I can actually live here for a fraction of what my life costs back home. And that's exactly what many do. They stay for months, for years, sometimes forever. Tanzania has this irresistible ability to pull you in with its beaches and keep you with its kindness, simplicity, and low cost of living. It's a country where time moves slower, stress feels unnecessary, and every day starts with warm ocean air and ends with a sunset that looks like a painting. If you're looking for an easy life, not boring, not isolated, just easy, Tanzania is one of the few places where that fantasy becomes completely real. Number 3, Kenya. Kenya's coastline is one of those rare places on Earth that feels almost unreal the first time you see it. The moment you arrive in Mombasa or step onto the soft white sands of Diani Beach, you understand why so many travelers, digital nomads, and retirees quietly settle here. Mombasa isn't just a port city, it's a living museum of cultures. You feel the history of Swahili, Arab, Portuguese, and Indian influences the moment the warm air hits your skin. It's vibrant, colorful, and full of life, yet astonishingly affordable compared to almost anywhere in the West. Diani Beach, on the other hand, feels like paradise designed for humans who are tired of noise, stress, and cold weather. Picture this: palm trees bending softly in the wind, crystal clear turquoise water stretching further than your eyes can follow, long stretches of empty white sand where you can walk for hours, and small cafes with fresh seafood grilling right in front of you. The atmosphere is slow, gentle, and deeply relaxing, the kind of place where your heartbeat naturally slows down and your mind finally breathes. Living here on $700 a month isn't just realistic. It's surprisingly comfortable. Rent is where you feel the difference immediately. For around $250 to $350, you can get a furnished apartment or a modest cottage near the beach, sometimes even with a small garden or a shared pool. Utilities are low, internet is affordable, and eating out can cost less than cooking at home if you enjoy local dishes like chapati, biryani, grilled fish, and fresh tropical fruit. Daily expenses such as transportation, groceries, and basic services are incredibly cheap, allowing you to stretch your budget far beyond what's possible in Europe or the US. But what really makes Kenya special is the culture. Kenya's coastal communities are warm, open, and social. People greet you with a smile, neighbors talk to you like they've known you for years, and locals genuinely enjoy interacting with foreigners. The dating scene is completely different from what many Western men and retirees are used to. Women on the coast often appreciate maturity, stability, and kindness, and relationships tend to form naturally through conversation, shared meals, or simple daily encounters. You don't have to chase attention here. Companionship naturally gravitates toward you when you're respectful and genuine. Another advantage is the language. Kenya is an English-speaking country, which removes many barriers that foreigners experience in other parts of Africa or Asia. You can negotiate rent, shop at markets, visit the doctor, make friends, and even start small side projects without ever needing to learn the local language. Though knowing a few Swahili words like karibu, asante, and pole pole makes people instantly warm to you. Safety on the coast is generally good when you live in the right areas, avoid isolated places at night, and use basic common sense. Expats often cluster around neighborhoods like Nyali, Bamburi, and Diani, all of which offer affordable accommodation, beachfront cafes, gyms, co-working spaces, and nightlife spots where people of all ages mingle freely. The overall vibe is relaxed, beachy, and welcoming. Life feels slower here, more intentional, and far more enjoyable than in noisy, high-pressure Western cities. For someone living on a fixed pension or a modest remote income, Kenya gives you something priceless: the ability to live like a comfortable middle-class local without constantly worrying about money. You can wake up by the ocean, enjoy freshly squeezed mango juice for breakfast, take long beach walks, spend your afternoons reading under palm trees, and enjoy warm evenings with music, conversation, and good company, all within a budget that barely covers rent alone in the West. Kenya is not just a place to visit. It's a place to breathe, to reset, to feel alive again. A place where your money stretches, your stress disappears, and your social life becomes richer than you expected. That's why for so many budget travelers and retirees, Kenya isn't number 3 on this list. It's number 1 in their hearts. Number 2, Senegal. If you love rhythm, beaches, and a warm, expressive social culture, Senegal might surprise you in the best possible way. This is a country where daily life feels alive, not stressful, not rushed, but full of sound, color, and genuine human warmth. The air carries the beat of drums, the smell of grilled fish, and the soft breeze of the Atlantic drifting across long, golden beaches. Living here is not just affordable, it's comfortable. Apartments along the coast, especially around areas like Mambour, Sali, or the quieter parts of Dakar, usually cost between $220 and $300 a month. For that price, you can get a simple but clean place, often with ocean views, a balcony, or quick walking access to the beach. Utilities and internet are also inexpensive, and many expats find themselves living a calmer, more balanced lifestyle without the financial pressure they had at home. Food is one of Senegal's biggest advantages. Street markets offer fresh fruit, vegetables, fish, and local dishes for just a few dollars. Eating out is cheap too, whether it's a plate of tiboudien, a grilled fish on the beach, or a quick breakfast from a street vendor. You can easily live well on a small budget and still enjoy a full, active social life. What truly defines Senegal, though, is its people. Senegalese culture is famously warm, expressive, and community-oriented. People love to talk, laugh, dance, and connect. It's part of everyday life. If you're open and respectful, you'll find that making friends here is not only easy, it's natural. Locals are genuinely curious about foreigners, especially those who choose to live among them instead of staying in tourist enclaves. Instead of being ignored or treated with distance, as in many Western cities, you're welcomed with interest, politeness, and a sense of cultural pride. Foreigners often describe Senegal as a place where they feel seen, not judged, not rushed, not overlooked. The atmosphere is soft and human, with a strong emphasis on respect, hospitality, and social connection. Whether you're dining with neighbors, joining a local beach gathering, or simply walking through the market, people don't hesitate to start a conversation or share a moment. And this is what makes Senegal special. The combination of low living costs, beautiful Atlantic beaches, incredible music culture, and a society where relationships are valued more than material things. If you're looking for a place where your monthly budget stretches far, where life feels warmer and more vibrant, and where building genuine connections is part of the lifestyle, Senegal delivers exactly that, and more. Number 1, Cape Verde. Cape Verde is one of those places that doesn't fully register in people's minds until they see it with their own eyes. It feels like a secret, warm, peaceful, and beautifully mixed with influences from Brazil, Portugal, and the Caribbean, yet without the high price tag. Imagine waking up to endless sun, soft winds from the Atlantic, and a lifestyle so relaxed that even time seems to move slower. That is Cape Verde's charm. It's not just a destination. It's a mood, a rhythm, a gentle way of living that quietly pulls you in until you start wondering why you ever lived anywhere else. For anyone living on a budget, this place is a dream that somehow manages to stay real. For $300 to $350 a month, you can rent a clean, bright, modern apartment within walking distance of the beach. And we're not talking about crowded beaches or noisy resorts. These are calm, turquoise coastlines where you'll often see more fishermen than tourists. The water stays warm almost all year. The cost of local seafood is unbelievably low, and the quality of life you get for such a small amount of money is almost shocking to people arriving from Europe or the US. Safety is another reason Cape Verde ranks so high. The islands are known for being some of the safest in Africa, with a calm, relaxed social atmosphere. People are friendly in the most effortless way. They smile when they pass you, they greet you even if they don't know you, and they're always ready to help if you seem lost or confused. There's a strong sense of community, something many retirees say they lost back home. Here, you can walk at night, sit on the beach, listen to music flowing from small bars, and feel like part of the environment rather than a stranger moving through it. And if you love culture, Cape Verde will surprise you even more. These islands breathe music. Morna and Coladera play everywhere, in cafes, on balconies, even on the streets. People dance casually, as naturally as breathing. The lifestyle is social, warm, and expressive, but never overwhelming. You choose your pace. You can spend the evening chatting with locals, listening to live music, or simply sitting by the water with a drink as the sun sets in intense shades of orange and red. It's a place where loneliness fades easily because connection comes naturally. Food is affordable, fresh, and simple. Local markets sell fruits and vegetables grown on the islands. Fishermen come in every morning with tuna, snapper, and mackerel, and small restaurants serve meals for a few dollars. Even imported goods are reasonably priced thanks to the island's strong European ties. This makes daily living not only cheap, but also genuinely enjoyable. You're not sacrificing quality, you're gaining it. That's why so many Europeans retire here quietly. They arrive thinking it's a temporary escape, and then something changes. The slow mornings, the friendly people, the warm nights, the ocean breeze that never stops, it becomes addictive. Many retirees only plan to stay 6 months. 10 years later, they're still here, living healthier, happier, simpler lives than they ever imagined possible. No stress, no pressure, just sun, safety, and a lifestyle that brings meaning back into everyday life. Cape Verde isn't the Africa people imagine, and it's not the Caribbean people expect. It's something in between, softer, quieter, more affordable, and honestly, more real. If you've ever dreamed of leaving behind the cold, the noise, the expensive bills, and the feeling of being invisible, this is the kind of place that can completely rewrite the story of your life. So here's the truth. Africa is not the continent most people imagine from news clips, old stereotypes, or dramatic documentaries. It's better, much better. It's warmer, not just in climate, but in spirit. It's welcoming in a way that makes you feel seen, included, and alive again. And in the right regions, it's far safer and far more stable than people expect, especially for foreigners who know where to go and how to blend into the local rhythm of life. And yes, it's unbelievably affordable. If you've ever sat at home staring out the window on another gray morning, wondering why life feels heavier every year, if you've ever dreamed of escaping the cold, the noise, the endless bills, the pressure, the rush, the stress, if you've ever whispered to yourself, even for a moment, there must be somewhere on this planet where life is slower, easier, healthier, and happier, then hear this clearly. There is. A $700 life by the ocean isn't a fantasy, it isn't a trick, and it isn't reserved for lucky people. It's real, it's happening right now, and thousands of people, retirees, remote workers, solo explorers, and those simply longing for a new beginning, are already living it. Palm trees, seafood markets, warm evenings, simple days, meaningful friendships, genuine connection. These aren't luxuries here, they're daily life. And sometimes the only thing standing between you and a completely different existence is a belief. The belief that you're stuck. but you're not. The world is bigger, kinder, and more open than you think. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is book that one-way ticket and see what life looks like on the other side of fear. I'm Sophie Wilder, and this is Global Glimpse, your window into real destinations where life becomes cheaper, warmer, freer, and far more human. If you're ready to explore places not through headlines or fear, but through beauty, possibility, and opportunity, then don't just watch, join us, subscribe now, because your next chapter, your next home, and maybe even your next sunrise could be waiting for you somewhere out there, just beyond the horizon.